Good afternoon, good morning, good evening indeed, wherever you are joining us from in the world today. A very warm welcome to you to Portugal. A welcome back to those of you who are with us this morning, and of course to this regional event from the Forum for the Future of Agriculture, the first in 2021. If you were with us this morning, you will have already been no doubt inspired and stimulated by the discussions that we had around sustainable farming practices in terms of water management, farmland habitat, and of course the dimension of the trade policy, particularly in relation to sustainability. This afternoon, we'll be going shortly into our solutions workshops sessions, which will be focused on new genomic techniques and the way that they relate to sustainable agriculture, to trade and development, and of course to the farm to fork strategy. Before we do that, I want to again thank our partners, founding partners and strategic partners and supporters for their generous contribution and support, not just today, but over the last 18 months, which enables us to mark this very special day where we come back together for the first time in over 18 months to meet in person and indeed with you all virtually. It's a terrific pleasure to be with you all today. Because we are in Portugal, of course, I also want to acknowledge the support of our local partners and indeed co-organisers, CAP, UNAC, ANPC and CE Liège. And like this morning, today's Solutions Workshop continues to take place under the auspices of the EU, of the Portuguese presidency of the European Union. Well, as I said, we are in person here in Portugal, broadcasting to you live. And so for those of you that are in the room, thank you again for respecting the social distancing of the seating, very important. Wearing the mask, and of course there's hand sanitizer around. And if you weren't with us this morning, this afternoon, you will see some very important people behind me during the transition between panels, just cleaning the chairs to make sure that they are safe for the next panelists. We also mark audience participation as one of the key value points of the Forum for the Future of Agriculture, and so today is no different. If you're in the room, now's a good time again to open up your browser. If you want to contribute, ask questions, we really want those to come through. Punch in www.ffa.tv into your browser and you'll be able to do that. If you're joining us again for the first time online, you'll be able to see a box, hopefully under my screen, and if not, under the moderator screen shortly. And in there, you'll be able to offer your questions, thoughts, and indeed comments on what you will hear this afternoon. And if that wasn't enough, don't forget to join us on social media. You can follow us Twitter at Ag Forum. I just checked, yeah, Forum for Ag. I should know that really off the top of my my head. And of course on Facebook, Forum for Agriculture. Well, to set us up for this afternoon's discussion, I can think of no better place to start than with the president of the Confederação dos Agricultores de Portugal. I'd like you all to give a very warm welcome, please, to Eduardo Oliveira e Sousa.
Where? Thank you very much, Mark. Well, thank you, Mark. Very kind to you. I'm going just to say some words in English. Sorry, I think I can take the mask out now.
It's legal on the stage.
For a few moments. That's very nice. Thank you very much. I would like to thank to everybody to join us and to be part of this important event. FFA, it's an important event every year, and this year, it's possible to receive you in Portugal, here in Santarém, where in 3 weeks' time we will have the National Fair for Agriculture. Last year it was not possible to make it, so this year it will be a very different fair, but a very important, also a very important event, especially for us. Muito boa tarde a todos.
Good afternoon to everybody.
Se me virem levantar e fazer uns passos de fandango, não é porque estamos.
If I stand up and I dance, I'll show a bit of my dance moves. It's not because we're in Ribatejo and do the fandango, but it's just to get you warmed up,
que sofre
and
bem, mas que tem às vezes umas consequências
obviously we had a very good lunch, a very good meal,
pesadas também.
but sometimes it can be quite heavy.
Boa tarde,
And
é uma honra receber-vos ao vivo.
so, good afternoon. It's my pleasure to welcome you here all, here in the room and live and online as well.
Semanas,
Here we are in Santarém, Portugal. In 3 weeks' time, we'll be hosting the International Agricultural Fair.
por todos conhecida.
Last year didn't take place for reasons that are known to everybody, so welcome to you all.
Abordámos
This morning,
a importância
we talked about how important water is in the Mediterranean region. We talked about productivity. We've also talked about
sensata dos recursos.
finding the right balance,
Significa que
having
a agricultura não se pratica
a
apenas
sensible
em determinadas coisas. Temos que fazer bem
resource
todas as coisas.
management.
Por isso, a evolução
So we need to, in a way, do everything right, not just a series of things, but everything. And trust is of key importance. And I think what we're going to talk about this afternoon is about that, is about just that.
um determinado mito
And I think, like I said this morning, I think some myths about this topic have already been established.
desejo é que a sessão
But what we hope for with today's session
objetividade
is for it to be so objective and clear that it will be able to
crescendo à volta dessa.
clear things up around this area of interest. I am
Sou também agricultor,
an agronom engineer by trade. I'm also a farmer.
é
So I think that genetic improvement or enhancement is of key importance.
evolução
We are
social, aquela
in a world that's ever-changing,
é nos seres vivos.
evolving, and
Sujeitas
in living beings. That's where you can see that the most. Plants and
de facto,
humans.
elas são submetidas muitas vezes a processos
Sometimes
de fazer agricultura de forma
they're submitted to different types of processes, depending on the types of agriculture they have to deal with
necessidades.
in their own region, and they have to face
Pragas que surgem, novas doenças.
different and several constraints and challenges. Maybe sometimes climate changes, diseases,
E avancem com soluções
and whatnot. So it is fundamental that science
dinâmicas e que se enquadrem nas
evolves as well within this framework.
e também comportamentais
Heating, obviously, environmental concerns.
se reveste de facto de...
So, as you can see, this is a very timely matter.
Concretamente falando do que vamos falar, as novas técnicas genómicas
We're going to talk about more precisely about this new NGTs,
aplicadas ao melhoramento das plantas,
the new genomic techniques,
a edição do genoma,
more
permitem de
plant
forma
related,
obter variedades
genome identification,
que são colocadas
so that we can
só pelas alterações climáticas, mas também
identify
interesse dos
all the
consumidores,
challenges,
seja por
not just because of not just because of climate change, but also
relacionadas
growing concerns from the consumers about the environment or about these big buzzwords that are the basis of, in a way, for these myths like the genetic manipulation. Well, we cannot lose sight of productivity, of sustainability in the agricultural sector.
em sustentabilidade.
We talk a lot today. We talk a lot about productivity and sustainability. We talked about this morning.
A sustentabilidade tem aqui papel de relevo
I think
e sem a garantia
this sustainability thread here is going to be very important. We need to ensure
nutritiva
economic sustainability. So if we don't have that,
culturas,
it doesn't matter if crops are very pretty and very consumer friendly. They won't be used by the farmers because they will use those crops so they can make a living out of it.
os objetivos incluídos
Now, if you compound that with the goals of the farm to fork strategy, like bringing down the use of pesticides and other products, then you can clearly see that this topic is of the uttermost importance. These new NGTs, these NGTs are already used to improve the health of plants. They're accessible, they're affordable, much unlike what happens in other sectors. So we need to really clear the waters here in a way. Not to say that one is better than the other. I don't think science is giving us the opportunity to create a sort of contest or championship, but just to rely on the knowledge to attain those goals. Applying these MGTs in enhancement, in trying to enhance things, and it enables companies to develop new products and according to their needs. Obviously respecting the GMO directive. Using GMOs relies on the principle that if you're going to use a product that had genome alteration, there has to be a tracking system. So this is going to have to be changed because it doesn't happen nowadays. A new study, a new report was commissioned by the European Commission and says that several of these plant products derived from NGTs do have the potential to contribute to the Green Deal goals, and particularly to the goals, to the Farm to Fork goals, being in perfect sync with the United Nations Farm to Fork goals and the sustainable agro-food business. The study also points out that NGTs are a set of techniques that can be applied to the health and to enhancing plant products. The study also underlines that current legislation or future legislation should bear in mind the final features of the product and not the technology that was used to get there. 2020, if we remember the Nobel Prize for Chemistry given to two scientists for their work on genomics as well, we can clearly see that there's a need to fight this counter-information campaign that's been going on. We need to reinforce the role of the European Agency for Food Control, and to avoid that farmers are seen as a bargaining chip, when it comes to trying to have new policies in agriculture. Science and its progress has always had to face obstacles, but I think in this globalized context, I think we need to trust in science, and need to fight and clear up fears and allay fears that might come up. So this is very timely. This is a good starting point for new EU legislation that will meet present needs and the goals and the European goals we have in sight. Thank you very much.
Eduardo, thank you so much indeed for that comprehensive assessment of some of the factors that I'm sure we're going to get into in this afternoon's debate. And just to say again, on behalf of all of us at the forum, to UNAC, ANPC, CLIH, all the partners, but also to CAP, thank you very much indeed for hosting us, and the best of luck with your agriculture show next month. It's terrific to see people coming back together. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Eduardo.
I hope it will be a nice afternoon.
Let's hope so. Thank you.